I'm sorry for your loss. Translation: I'm having really difficult, big emotions right now, and I don't want to be responsible for them. Hi, I'm Glenda Walsh-Krause, a death doula, and in this video, I want to talk about the phrase, I'm sorry for your loss. And I want to give you some alternatives that we can say instead to reach out to provide some comfort and support to someone who is grieving. I want to unpack this a lot more, and I want to go word by word. So first, I. It's not about you. Don't use the word I. When you're doing this, when you're saying I, you're making the situation about you instead of the bereaved, and that is not going to lend any comfort or support. Sorry. Sorry puts us in the mindset or the frame of guilt and shame. So when you're apologizing to someone in this situation, what you're doing is making them feel bad for your discomfort, right? So what you're saying is you're apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry that your loved one died. It's making me feel uncomfortable. And that makes them feel bad. For. In this context, for connects your discomfort. It further connects your discomfort as the person saying, I'm sorry, to the deceased. Okay, so you're saying this, it's a cause and effect. Your loved one died, it's making me uncomfortable. Your. This is the least compassionate word in this statement. Your. I'm sorry for your loss, right? It's isolating when you say your. What we're doing is that we're saying, I'm having big feelings about them. The death of your loved one caused it, and I shouldn't have to deal with it. It's your responsibility to deal with it, right? All of the feelings that you're having, I don't want to have anything to do with them. You deal with your own feelings plus mine. Loss. In this context, loss gives the idea of death being avoidable or death being some sort of failure, and we know that that's not true. I'm sorry for your loss. I don't think that anyone intends this to come off as negative or unsupportive, uncompassionate, but I do think that because of our culture, we don't know what to do, we don't know what to say, so this is our default. If I had to put our culture in a stage of grief, if there were any real stages of grief and if you could actually get stuck there, I would say that as a culture, we're in denial. We don't want to talk about the big feelings. We don't actually want to feel them and let them wash over us. We don't want to deal with it. We run away from it. We're in denial. So it makes it very difficult to offer someone support at this time if you yourself are in denial about death, grief, your own mortality. So again, it's not ill-intentioned, but it can come off. If you have ever been grieving and someone has said this to you, I'm sorry for your loss, it's exhausting to hear this over and over and over again because you're dealing with your own feelings, and then in a way, people are dumping their own feelings on you to deal with, and they're not actually offering any real compassion or support by making this statement, I'm sorry for your loss. And it's not only lacking compassion, but it's isolating. So when someone says, I'm sorry for your loss, they're isolating you from any real support. When you want to be supportive to someone going through a difficult time, I feel that the way to make real community, to make a real sense of support and belonging is to connect with others on a spiritual level. And I don't mean spiritual in a religious sense, because spiritual and religious are not the same thing. I'll have to flesh this out a little bit more, but my idea of a spiritual connection is the essence of our humanity or our consciousness, things that make us sentient beings. So we have to connect on that level to make someone truly feel supported in this difficult time. And to do that, communion, right? Communion with union, meaning that we're connecting on a spiritual level. And that also goes into the idea of compassion with passion. I'm going to walk through this with you. Community. communing on a larger scale, connecting on a spiritual level, on the grounds of our shared humanity and consciousness, sentience. That is how we really connect with someone and make them feel supported. So the way we connect on a spiritual level is that you can share a story about the deceased. You can share something that they taught you, or by sharing the story, what you're doing is you're saying to the bereaved that I saw your loved one, I heard your loved one. And when you do that, you create a sacred space. So for me, a sacred space or a sacred place is an environment or a place where a person is seen and heard. So when you're doing that, when you're telling the story about this loved one, you are saying that I saw them, I heard them as a human being, or an animal friend, an animal family member, right? So sharing stories is very helpful. You can also say, this sucks, this really, really sucks, and this is really difficult. And last but not least, you can say, I don't know what to say. That is a perfectly acceptable response or way to express condolences. I don't know what to say. When you're doing that, you're opening yourself up. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're showing the bereaved that you're vulnerable in this moment, right? That you're willing to be open to their emotions and their suffering, as well as acknowledging your own suffering. And you're not closing them off. You're not saying, I don't want to deal with it. Those are your emotions. I can't deal with my emotions. You're saying, I don't really know what to say. I don't know what to do, but I'm not denying anything, okay? All right, guys, I hope that helps give you some more ideas about why saying I'm sorry for your loss might not be the best, how it could be hurtful, and some alternatives to use instead. Okay, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to answer your questions or talk with you about grief, death, dying, and any end-of-life topics. All right, guys, bye.